Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that trips up even native English speakers: pronouns. Specifically, we're going to master the difference between who, what, and where. It sounds simple, right? But stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll be navigating these tricky little words like a true pro. We've even got a fun quiz at the end to put your new skills to the test, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Ready? Let's unlock this pronoun puzzle together. So, let's start with the basics. Pronouns are essentially shortcuts. They're words we use to replace nouns, so our sentences don't sound repetitive and clunky. Imagine saying, John went to the store because John needed milk. It's much smoother to say, John went to the store because he needed milk. See? Simple. The pronouns we're focusing on today, who, what, and where, are interrogative pronouns, which is just a fancy way of saying we use them to ask questions. First up, let's talk about who. This one is all about people. If you're asking a question and the answer is a person or a group of people, who is your go-to word? For example, who ate the last cookie? The answer could be Sarah, my brother, or the kids. It's always a person. Another example, who is your favorite actor? Again, the answer will be a person's name. A common mistake is using what when you should use who. You wouldn't ask, what is your favorite actor? That just sounds a bit off, doesn't it? So, remember this simple rule. Who is for people. Who is at the door? Who called you? Who will win the game? It's all about the individuals involved. Now let's move on to our next pronoun. What? While who is for people, what is the pronoun for things, ideas, and actions? It's incredibly versatile. You might ask, what is that strange noise? The answer would be a thing, like the dishwasher or a cat. You could also ask, what are you thinking about? Here, the answer is an idea or a concept, like my vacation plans or this grammar lesson. We also use what for actions. What are you doing this weekend? The answer describes an activity, like I'm going hiking or I'm reading a book. So, if the answer to your question isn't a person, and it isn't a place, there's a very high chance you need to use what. What's for dinner? What time is it? What is the meaning of this? See how broad it is. It covers everything from objects to abstract concepts. And that brings us to our third and final word for today, where. This one is probably the most straightforward of the three. Where is exclusively for places and locations. If your question is about the position or destination of something or someone, where is the only word you need. For example, where are my keys? The answer will be a location. On the table, in your pocket, under the sofa. You could also ask, where are you from? The answer is a place. I'm from Canada. Or, I'm from a small town in the countryside. Or, where should we go for lunch? The answer will be a restaurant, a cafe, or some other physical spot. You wouldn't ask, what are my keys? Unless you've forgotten what keys are. And you wouldn't ask, who are my keys? Unless you believe your keys are sentient beings. So the rule is simple. If you're asking about a location, where is your word? Let's do a quick recap to solidify this in our minds. Who is for people? What is for things, ideas, or actions? And where is for places or locations? Who, what, where? People, things, places. Got it? Think of it like a detective game. If you're looking for a suspect, you ask, who did it? If you're looking for the murder weapon, you ask, what was used? And if you're trying to find the crime scene, you ask, where did it happen? Each pronoun has a very specific job, and when you use the right one, your questions become crystal clear. Now things can get a little tricky. when these words mix. For instance, what if you're asking about an organization or a company? Is a company a who or a what? Generally, we treat companies and organizations as what. For example, you would ask, what is your favorite brand? Not, who is your favorite brand? Even though a brand is run by people, the brand itself is a thing, an entity. However, if you're asking about the people within the company, you'd switch back to who. For example, who is the CEO of that company? See the difference? We're asking about the person, not the entity. It's a subtle distinction, but an important one for sounding natural and precise. Let's try another tricky one. What about pets? Are they a who or a what? This is where it gets personal. Traditionally and grammatically, animals are considered things. So what would be the correct pronoun? For example, if you see a stray dog, you might ask, what kind of dog is that? However, for our own beloved pets, we often humanize them and use who. If someone asks about your dog, you might proudly say, he's a golden retriever. And if your cat goes missing, you would probably ask your neighbors, have you seen my cat? Who could have let him out? It's a sign of affection. So, while what is technically correct for animals, using who for pets is very common and perfectly acceptable in informal conversation. It just shows how much you care about your furry friend. Okay, I think you've got the theory down. Are you ready for the ultimate challenge? It's quiz time. I'm going to give you 10 sentences with a blank space. Your job is to fill in the blank with who, what, or where. Take your time. Think about our rules. People, things, places. Let's see how you do. Question 1. Is the capital of Australia? Think about it. Is the answer a person, a thing, or a place? It's a city, which is a place, so the answer is what? Wait, did I trick you? This is a classic exception. While Canberra is a place, the question asks for the name of the place, which is a piece of information, a thing. So we ask, what is the capital? Not, where is the capital? If you asked, where is the capital? You'd be asking for its coordinates on a map. Tricky, I know. Okay, let's try an easier one. Question 2. Is making all that noise next door? The answer is likely to be a person or people. So the correct word is who? Who is making all that noise next door? Perfect. Question 3. Did you put the remote control? I can't find it. You're looking for the location of the remote, so you should use where. Where did you put the remote control? You're doing great. Question 4. Do you want for your birthday this year? The answer could be a new phone, a book, or maybe just peace and quiet. These are all things or concepts. So the pronoun is what. What do you want for your birthday? Question 5. Taught you how to play the guitar so well? The answer would be a teacher, a friend, a family member, a person. So it has to be who? Who taught you how to play? Halfway there. Question 6. Is the best place to go for Italian food in this city? We're looking for a specific location, a restaurant. The key word is place. So the answer is where? Where is the best place? Question 7. Was that book about? You're asking for the plot or the main idea of the book. That's a concept, a thing. So we use what? What was that book about? Question 8. Of these people is your cousin. Even though the sentence is about people, we're asking to identify a specific person from a group. The pronoun we need is who. Who of these people is your cousin? Question 9. Are you going on vacation? The answer will be a country, a city, a beach, a location. Simple enough. The correct word is where? Where are you going on vacation? And our final question, number 10. Why is the reason you were late today? A reason is an idea, an explanation. It's not a person, and it's not a place. So we must use what? What is the reason you were late today? How did you do? Did you get all 10 right? Even if you missed 1 or 2, that's completely okay. That first question is a tough one that even native speakers get mixed up on. The most important thing is to understand the logic behind each choice. Practice is key. The more you listen to and use these words in conversation, the more natural it will become. Try making your own quiz questions and testing a friend. And that's a wrap on our pronoun power session. You've learned the core differences between who, what, and where, navigated some tricky exceptions, and tested your knowledge. You are now officially better equipped to ask clear and accurate questions in English. Remember, who for people, what for things, and where for places. It's as simple as that. Thank you so much for joining me today and taking on the pronoun challenge. I hope you found this lesson helpful and a little bit fun. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. We have so much more to learn together. Leave a comment below with your score on the quiz. Or if you have any other grammar questions you'd like me to cover. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.